Hey there, followers and friends. Captain John Tarr here with Tail Hunter Outdoor Adventures. And today's review, I'm going to be reviewing some broadheads I've purchased. I'm going to be comparing two different ones. One is a set of three that I bought, $45 for three of them from a local store. And then the others are some that I bought direct from the manufacturer, and they were 12 of them for $8. So I'm just going to compare them, see if it's worth the money for the extra expenditure at 3 for $45, or see if the ones at 12 for $8 will do just as well. So you can see by the packaging there is a little bit of difference. These that I bought at the store, each one comes individually put in a little sleeve, little screw-in sleeve here. They are 100% stainless steel tips, and according to the packaging, they are 1 1/16 inch cutting diameter, and they're 100 grain heads. These came in this little black box here, shipped through the U.S. Postal Service, and in a little plastic bag. Now, I will say when I got them, the air was sucked out, so it didn't appear like they moved around a lot in the bag. Again, the blades are 100% stainless steel. They're 100 grains, but they're not individually packaged. And if you look very closely on this blade here, I've got one little nick in the blade. So maybe a little bit of damage as it was being shipped, but nothing significant. Comparing the edges, both of them are nice and sharp. Now, on the more expensive blades, your rear portion of the blade here, your tail end, does still have a cutting edge. The tail end on these, no cutting edge. It's got a little bit of a bevel for removal, but not an actual cutting edge. Don't know if that's going to make a significant difference, considering they shouldn't be going ass end anyway. So, they're both threaded the same to go in your normal arrows. So right now the only bow I have available is my crossbow. So I'm going to be taking these outside, putting them on an arrow, and shooting them into my foam target, and we'll see how penetration goes. Now, comparing the cutting diameters at 1 1/16 inch for these, you can tell these are significantly wider. Probably 1 1/4, maybe a little more on the cutting edge on the ones that I bought online. So, but we're going to take them out and see how penetration goes and see how the blades hold up. Okay guys, so I've got them put in my bolts here. I've got a field point and then both of these broadheads. I'm at a measured 23 yards to my target down there. We'll get it set up. I also have a slow-mo camera down at the end because I'm interested to see if there's any spin or anything else on the target when they reach it. So I will tell you, all of these heads screwed right into the standard bolts, no problem. Threads were perfect, even on the cheap ones. Okay guys, we're going to start with the field point. Here's our field point. Then we'll do our expensive broadheads. What we would consider our cheap broadhead. I did just notice on this cheaper broadhead, I do have one vein on it that's cracked, but not severely, so we'll go see what that penetration looks like. Alright guys, as you can see, penetration on the target almost identical on all of them. The bottom is the inexpensive or cheap broadhead. The middle is the field point, and then the upper right here is the expensive broadhead. Now I will say that expensive broadhead went to the right a little bit. A lot more off target than the rest of them. So I'll be curious to see the slow motion video on that. The cheap broadhead, considering I was aiming for the middle of the block, the most accurate. Now I did aim for the upper middle with my field point because I wanted to have some spread out area for the target. So it was pretty much spot on too. So really the only one that was off target was the expensive broadhead, because again I was aimed at the middle, and it flew pretty much, what's that, about 4 inches off target. So I'm going to shoot them again one more time, but we're going to remove them first. Put the camera down, rotate it up here because I'm curious to see if there's any damage when I remove these. I know there won't be on the field point. And if you want to know penetration, that's it. Probably, I don't know, 12, 13 inches of penetration. Here's the expensive broadhead. Point's still good to go again. No damage to it whatsoever. Here's the cheaper broadhead. And it's still good to go, no damage. Got a little collection of foam there. So, one shot, we know they're both still good. We're going to give it a second shot. Yeah, so here it is, guys. Here's a close-up. Again, field point in the top center. The cheap broadhead in the left, and the expensive broadhead way over to the right. And like I said, now the field point I did squeeze. I was a little high, so it actually just went a little high when I squeezed the trigger. So I'm not upset with that. The expensive broadhead, though, I had that dead center of the block here, and it's easily 4 inches to the right, just like it was last time. And the cheap broadhead, maybe a quarter inch, half inch low, and an inch to the left, which, you know, you're outdoors 23 yards away with a little wind out here. Not a lot, but a little bit. And that's actually the one that has a torn vein on the arrow too. So, you know, penetration's the same. We'll do removal again. I'll be curious. Let's just see if the blades last. I'll put the camera down, tilt it up here. You know the field point's fine. Here's the expensive broadhead coming out. It's still good. I mean, there's no problems with that head whatsoever. I don't know why it's pulling to the right like it is. There's definitely something in that head that's pulling to the right. And then here's the cheap one. And again, that broadhead is still perfect too. So, guys, I'm going to tell you right now, with just this test, I would have zero issues ordering these again at 12 for $8 as opposed to 3 for 45. And hopefully this weekend I get to stick a couple in animals and we'll find out exactly how well they work. So hey guys, I'm back inside after shooting these broadheads and testing them. And I will say I was shocked by the results. So the field point, just as a reminder, I shot all of these arrows with field points before I put the broadheads on them. Accuracy was not a problem. I was able to stack them right on top of each other with the broadhead or with the field points. Once I put the broadheads on, field point continued to shoot like it should. The shocker was this one right here, guys. That is a $15 broadhead. That is the broadhead that kept shooting 4 inches to the right at 23 yards every single shot. And I checked the slow motion video. I changed it into a different bolt. It didn't matter. It was always pulling to the right. No visible reason why it should be. None of the blades are bent or anything. The arrows aren't twisting, so I'm not sure what's going on with it. The 12 for $8 broadheads, though, what a surprise. And I think it really proves that you don't necessarily have to spend these exorbitant amounts of money to go hunting. This broadhead is almost as sharp. I won't say after a few shots it's as sharp as the expensive one, but it's still sharp enough to hunt with no problem. It's still cutting paper with no problem. And I would consider these a hunt, if you get a couple of kills with them, dispose of them type thing for less than $1 a piece. The accuracy was dead on with this particular broadhead as opposed to the expensive one. And to me, that's just a shocker. It also proves I would urge everybody, you're probably practicing with field points for the most part, and when you put your broadheads on, make sure you test fire them at least once, probably twice, to see if there's an accuracy issue, because I know a lot of guys don't. They take their field points out, they put their broadheads in, and I'm one of those. I've been guilty of that myself. But a 4-inch accuracy problem at 23 yards, at 40 yards, that's going to be close to 8 inches. That's the difference between a kill and just harming and hurting an animal instead of killing it, or a complete miss. And that's significant to me. So I have zero issue. I'm going to take these, I'm going to put them on my bolts, and we're going to take them hog hunting hopefully next week and see if we can't get a couple of kills with them. And if I do, I'll update it. But I'm just going to say right now, the damage area is bigger with these. They're just as clean. The accuracy is better. And like I said, 12 of them for, I think it was $8.50 and free shipping. And I'll put the exact item number and where I got it from in the description of the video. But I say try it. If you have different results than I do, feel free to contact me. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me as always. You can either drop me an email or you can just leave a comment in the video and I'll answer it. Till next time on the reviews, I hope you have some good hunting, good fishing. Look forward to our next ones.